Hey guys, as requested, I'm going to review a video by Redefining Strength. The video is called "The Diet and Fitness Industry Lied to You."
The diet and fitness industry has lied to you. I'm not talking about false magic pills and quick fixes when I say that you've been lied to about your diet.
The first thing that I notice is that she looks incredibly old for a 36-year-old, and that's because of her skin. Her skin looks like that of a 45-year-old at least. She's trying to cover up her face, of course, with all of the makeup. The hair is dyed. Maybe it's also over the forehead because she's trying to hide the forehead wrinkles, but it just doesn't help. I can see right through it. That's what you should expect as a woman if you fall for the fitness industry. If you work out, do any kind of exercise, go to the gym.
Workouts. Actually, I see the problem as something else. The disconnect between trainers, coaches, dietitians, and professionals and the people they want to help. What keeps us stuck in this yo-yo dieting cycle is oddly the gap between what we should ideally do and what is realistic for our lifestyle. Because food is not just truly fuel any longer. It's social, it's celebration, it's emotional, it's
Whoa! Oh my god. Is that her? Yeah, well, it is. You can hardly even recognize her without the makeup. Oh my god, makeup can do crazy things for anybody, but it's mostly women that use it. Yeah, she looks over 50 years old at least. Insane skin for a mid-30-year-old woman. What the hell? Those eye bags. Oh my god, she's so... Oh my god. This is so crazy. Yeah, wow. This is what such incredible stress is gonna do to you.
enjoyment. Yet instead of recognizing this and striking a balance, weighing the costs and rewards of everything for ourselves, we seek to be perfect and hit some arbitrary standards of clean eating, only to create unsustainable habits which ultimately backfire. These unsustainable habits keep us stuck, losing the weight only to regain it and more, especially as we fall back into old lifestyle patterns and try and do things we enjoy. We never learn to create the healthiest version of our personal lifestyle. That's why I wanted to go over 4 common diet and exercise myths I see pushed far too often in the diet.
The whole problem with this video, I can already tell you, is that she's gonna name some myths and lies about exercising. What you don't understand is that exercise in itself is a lie. The whole fitness industry is lying to you. It's not as if there's some lies in between which you have to seek out and then you will understand the truth about exercising, how to do exercise right. There is no way to exercise in the right way because exercise only stresses your body and ages you. She's the perfect example of that, especially if you do that as a woman because you're not hormonally made to do so much physical work. A guy, you could argue, would be for sure doing some kind of physical work in nature. None of what men nowadays do at the gym, of course. You will never do anything even close to that in nature. You should not expect to look different if you stress your body all of the time. This is exactly what you should expect if you exercise.
Exercise realm. One size doesn't fit all, and we need to accept the opportunity and options to find our balance. How we build our 80-20 balance will be unique. Myth number 1, X food is evil. Pick a food and you can probably find a video, blog, article, even a study that tells you how bad it is for you. According to a commenter on one of my videos, even water.
There's no scientific studies that prove that meat is in any way bad for you. Any kind of meat. There's absolutely nothing. There's epidemiological anti-science studies out there, but that's about it. There's never been anything scientific released against meat. Just nothing. Zero. Literally zero.
Is bad for you. And honestly, almost every food does have a downside to the upsides it provides. That doesn't make a food evil.
What downsides does meat have? Name anything. She can't even name anything.
It doesn't even mean the food may not be part of our lifestyle balance, but we just have to go in knowing how it will impact our overall health and well-being. And sometimes the risk is worth the reward. Sometimes something unhealthy we may choose to include because we enjoy it. It helps us relax, enjoy social gatherings, or even just
look at her freaking hands. Those are not hands of a 36-year-old woman. If I would have to guess her age by her hands alone, then I would guess that she's around 60 years old. At the very least, 50 years old. It looks very abnormal. She really messed up her body big time.
serves as the treat on a stressful day while keeping us overall on track working towards our goal.
Stressful day and then you drink what? Some kind of coffee? That's only going to stress you even more. She's not making any sense.
Because stress overall can have detrimental effects.
Stress overall can have detrimental effects. Yeah, and you promote working out. which is more or less the most stressful thing you could possibly do, you're completely destroying your body. Everybody knows that stress is bad for you. Stress ages the body, which we can see right here. But still, they say exercise. Why stress your body in the worst kind of way possible?
It's sometimes more important we include something that doesn't add to our stress, or that even takes away from it. This is better than restricting a food just because it might not be as nutrient dense or as beneficial as something else. We have to remember that all stress goes in one bucket. While we may see stressors in our lives as in separate categories, stress at work, stress to change habits, stress at home, or stress on our body from lack of sleep, all impact our mind and body compounding together. So sometimes finding little ways not to
I love how she doesn't even mention the stress from exercise, which is way worse than what she just showed. It's just so insane. She's just so delusional.
Add to our stress and overwhelm ourselves is key, so we can actually make healthy changes to our lifestyle overall. Sometimes it is that we need to pick the lesser of two evils to meet our...
Oh my God! Look at yourself! Look in the mirror for once!
Ourselves where we're at to make changes. So stop demonizing things and stop trying to force someone else's standards of healthy and balance on yourself, because one size doesn't fit all. Even healthy foods can be unhealthy or not right for certain people.
What are you talking about? How could raw meat, which is what humans eat in nature, be bad for anybody? Just name one downside to eating raw meat from healthy animals. What's the downside? You would only experience health. If you would eat a lot of animal fat, then you could at least repair some of the damage you've done to yourself from the exercise, if you would at last stop exercising, of course. Chill down on a couch or whatever, eat a lot of cholesterol-rich raw animal fats, and you're actually going to regain some of your youth.
For example, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, cabbage have been linked with many health benefits, such as a reduced risk of cancer and heart disease.
Reduced risk of cancer and heart disease. Absolutely zero proof as far as heart disease goes. There's proof that it helps with cancer, and only because these vegetables are insanely poisonous, and these poisons kill every cell that they touch, including cancer cells. That's not a good thing, which I explained in my video about cancer. You should check it out. The bottom line is that these are not health benefits. By any definition, you're consuming poison that's never good for you.
But these same nutritious vegetables we all believe to be...
These are not nutritious vegetables. It's actually the least nutritious food on earth, besides seeds.
Amazing, contain compounds called thiocyanates, which can interfere with the body's ability to absorb iodine. This may contribute to hypothyroidism, and it's why those with thyroid issues might be told not to eat quote-unquote
goitrogen, sulforaphane also, which is a poison that kills all of your cells, including cancer cells. Yeah, broccoli is very toxic.
Healthy food sometimes. Same thing can be said for those with dairy intolerances, gluten intolerances, and issues with FODMAPs. Foods that might be healthy or right for one person may not address the health concerns of another.
You're not making any sense whatsoever. Onions are, of course, toxic in general. That's why when you cut an onion, you start crying. It's the poison being released. It's not healthy for anybody. Some people may simply react more strongly to it. Milk, which comes from cows, is of course also not created for human beings. Milk in general, you could say, is healthy for the specific species. Milk is healthy for human beings as long as it comes from humans, especially if you're a baby, a young child. Dairy products such as cheese can of course be problematic for people, seeing as cheese as such doesn't exist in nature. It's a man-made product. That's why people can react allergically to the protein casein. And casein is also largely indigestible, which is why you can get constipation from it. Of course, you will get problems if you're drinking milk from another animal. Some people can tolerate it better than others. And of course, you will get problems from eating seeds, grain products such as bread. But all of this is man-made or unnatural as the milk products, as in you shouldn't be drinking milk products from other animals. Ideally, of course, it's way better than any plant foods. My point is that if you eat unnatural food, then you're not going to tolerate it. If you eat natural food, then you will always tolerate it.
But we don't need to just demonize something just because it isn't right for somebody else. That may even hold us back from getting the nutrients or fuel we need to succeed. Stop seeing foods as just good or bad. Weigh the costs involved to find your balance. Myth number 2, weight loss is just about calories in versus calories out. Yes, You need a calorie deficit to lose weight. I'm not saying that calories don't matter, but this oversimplification is truly what so often keeps people stuck on this dieting roller coaster. They cut calories, they lose weight, but they can't stay in a deficit forever. So they go back to eating more and their old lifestyle habits only to regain the weight and even more, before they again try and cut calories to lose the weight. However, it gets harder and harder each and every time we do this due to our sole focus on calories in versus calories out. Why does it get harder? Because often when we're focused only on cutting calories, we slash them as low as possible to lose as quickly as possible. And in the process, we throw our hormone levels out of.
I've already talked about this a million times, but in short, it's very easy to lose weight. If you're obese, for example, then you should probably consider doing that. The way to do that is to eat mostly animal protein, lean meat, basically no fat, and most definitely no carbohydrates at all. That way you're not going to be spiking your insulin, which is what signals your body to gain weight. Your body is simply going to consume its own fat. That's super easy and sustainable, because afterwards all that you need to do is simply start eating more animal fat and some carbohydrates if you want. That's it. It's sustainable for your whole life. It's perfect.
Whack, creating cravings that lead to us overeating, leading to even extra weight gain, and we've often also created metabolic adaptations in the process, which means our body even runs more efficiently off of fewer calories than it did before. This is often due to us slashing our calories super low, or trying to train longer and harder to create a deficit. And this is because we're only focusing on calories in versus calories out. This extreme deficit to lose faster on the scale results in more muscle being lost, over controlling as much as possible to lose fat while maintaining our muscle. So as much as yes, the simple answer to lose is to create that calorie.
There's absolutely no need to have such muscle mass as a woman. Nobody in nature has that.
Deficit. This oversimplification keeps us stuck. And it's why we often struggle more and more as we get older to lose the weight, especially once the hormonal changes of perimenopause hit.
People struggle to lose weight because they eat carbohydrate-rich foods full of drugs, actual drugs, which are in pizzas, burgers, all of the stuff that you can find at any fast food restaurant.
If we want to set ourselves up for success, we need to embrace the learning process and focus on the macronutrients in our foods, the portions of proteins, carbs, and fats that we're consuming. Because through adjusting these portions, we can...
Funny, she was talking against eating the greens, and then she shows meat, rice, and those toxic greens as if you should eat them.
Help ourselves feel more fueled, retain lean muscle mass to keep our metabolic rate higher, and we can help ourselves be prepared to transition to maintaining our new results. You can't do one thing to lose the weight and then go back to what you were doing. And you can't stay in a deficit forever. Through a focus on tracking macros, you can help yourself retrain your body to return to a new maintenance level calorie intake so that all of your hard work doesn't go to waste. Myth number 3, HIIT is the best form of training for fat loss. HIIT, or high intensity interval training, is an efficient and
working out in general is not needed for fat loss. All that you need to do is eat the way I told you, and you're going to lose weight. It's just what will naturally happen. You can go for a walk in nature if you want to, but there's most definitely no need to exercise.
Intense form of training. It's definitely a great option when we're short on time. And as the term is used these days, it can refer to a variety of different interval breakdowns and include a diversity of exercises. And as much as I even love HIIT personally and do use it with clients, I think it's key we recognize that there are downsides to every tool and technique. The more we recognize both.
In case you don't understand it, women don't want to look like you. They don't want to look so incredibly old. Women want to look young and attractive for as long as possible. Women don't want to look wrinkly with horrible skin and with some muscle mass, which is super unnatural. The reason they don't want it is because they know that men find it incredibly unattractive.
Myth number 4, workouts are about burning more calories. There isn't anything wrong with tracking your calories burned from your activity to watch your trends and hold yourself accountable. But too often we're training just to get that number higher, over training with purpose and intentionality. This often leads to us turning our strength workouts into cardio sessions. Less rest and feeling more out of breath often leads to a higher heart rate on our trackers, which then results in more calories being burned. And always focusing on doing more.
A higher heart rate really just means a shorter lifespan. Also, you shouldn't be working out to burn calories. It's incredibly illogical, because if you're consuming too many calories and you're probably eating drug-filled junk food, which is why you're gaining weight, and that's why you feel like you need to exercise to burn off the calories. Whereas in reality, you should be eating raw animal organs, drinking blood, what humans consume in nature. That way you're always going to be satiated. You're never going to overconsume any food, which is why you're never going to be overweight. It's impossible to be obese or even in any way overweight if you eat naturally. Absolutely impossible. That's why, as I always say, if you want to lose weight, all that you need to do is fix your diet.
And making our training more intense can cause some to suffer increased cravings and a harder time sticking with the dietary changes they need. Not to mention, it can work against our muscle gaining efforts. It can also lead to us unknowingly eating in a surplus over a deficit.
You don't need to gain muscle. What do you gain the muscle for? For the next gym session, the next HIIT session? What's the point, actually? You're not doing anything with that in real life. For a woman especially, it's very important to look beautiful so that you can reproduce. What's the point of you gaining muscle? There's just no logic to anything she's saying.
Or if you let your watch dictate how many calories you get, you'll start overeating because often our watches won't fully recognize we become more efficient at the training routines. And our workouts should be about building lean muscle while training our body to move well. We want our workouts to help us stay strong for life so we can remain independent and capable. Not to mention,
how are you going to be strong for life if you lift these kind of weights, especially as a woman? Then your joints, for one thing, are going to be completely messed up. You're not even going to be able to walk or move your arms when you're 60, 70 years old. It's just so delusional, this whole video.
a focus on strength work helps us build the muscle mass, which will help us burn more calories at rest, since our metabolic rate and energy demands will be higher. So
you shouldn't focus on burning calories. You shouldn't be consuming these junk food calories in the first place. If you would eat naturally, then you would never overconsume food. If you eat too much and then go to the gym to burn off the calories, then all that you do is age your body, because the more you eat, the more you age, and the more you exercise, the more you age. All of it is stress for your body. Consume natural food, eat less calories by doing that, and then there's no need to exercise and to stress and age your body even more.
while you want to do forms of training that you enjoy to stay consistent and active, you also want your workouts to have long-term benefits, because you want to be able to
Name one benefit of working out. Come on. I'm waiting for years now. Somebody name one health benefit of working out. Come on, man.
tackle any challenge that life throws your way. So often we view things as solely good or bad, instead of weighing the costs and rewards to find our balance. When we don't view the opportunity in each option, we don't allow ourselves to truly create something sustainable. And this, while good for the diet and fitness industry, is not so helpful for us to see the results we want. Seek to really learn about what you need and be open to new perspectives so that you can always adjust and adapt based on your needs and goals as they change over time. If you like the video, make sure to like it.
This was a horrible video. Everything she said is wrong except for what she said about cruciferous vegetables. But then again, later on she showed those vegetables on a plate as if you should be eating them after all. It was full of mis and disinformation. Yes, I understand that she's ignorant. She has no idea what she's talking about, but that doesn't make it any better. She's still spreading absolute lies. Yet this video was supposed to expose the lies about the diet and fitness industry. What an absolute joke. Thanks for watching.